culture, subculture, and rural consumer behavior. Culture influences consumers through the norms and values established by the society in which they live. The segment of a culture which shares distinguishing patterns of behavior and values different from the overall culture. Culture and subculture are quite important environmental factors that influence consumers' behavior. In this lesson, we learn about these two concepts and their impact on 7 Ps. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to analyze the nature of culture and culture change, analyze the nature of subculture, enumerate the type of subculture, analyze the cross-culture consumer behavior, analyze the impact of culture-subculture on 7 Ps, analyze the rural consumer behavior. Characteristics of culture include the fact that it is invented, it is learned, it is shared, it satisfies the needs and is not static. Cultures can be measured on the basis of few parameters, like individual or collective, competitive or cooperative, diversity or uniformity, performance or status, tradition or change, risk-taking or security, problem-solving or fatalistic, sensual gratification or abstinence, material or non-material, and religious or secular. Cultures are internally affected by both forces encouraging change and forces resisting change. These forces are related to both social structures and natural events, and are involved in the perception of cultural ideas and practices within current structures, which themselves are subject to change. Social conflict and the development of technologies can produce changes within a society by altering social dynamics and promoting new cultural models and spurring or enabling generative actions. These social shifts may accompany ideological shifts and other type of cultural change. The influence of subculture on consumer behaviors depend on factors such as subculture distinctiveness, subculture homogeneity, and subculture exclusion. Subcultures may be based on religion, region, language, age, gender, and many other differences. Types of subculture include religious subculture. For example, the bride in a Hindu family is dressed in a traditionally deep red dress. Sikh religion does not permit the use of tobacco products and shaving of hair. Regional subcultures. For example, South Indians prefer to drink coffee while most North Indians use tea. Age subculture. For example, people who would retire in 2010 will behave differently than those who retired during pre-independence period. Gender as a subculture. For example, when we are exposed to a foreign culture, differences in verbal communication become immediately noticeable. The meaning assigned to a particular group of letters or sounds is not inherent in the letters or sound. A word means what a group of people agree it to mean. Translating marketing communication from one language to another may pose problems and result in wrong or ineffective communication. Example: Coca-Cola realized that the word enjoy, which has been part of its lingo, enjoy Coca-Cola, had sensual connotations in the Russian language. And to avoid any problems, it changed this to drink Coca-Cola. Companies world over make the effort to determine to what extent the consumers of two or more nations are similar or different. This facilitates marketers to understand the psychological, social, and cultural aspects of foreign consumers they wish to target, so as to design effective marketing strategies for each of the specific national markets involved. Marketers develop other products and their aspects such as service, packaging, labeling, instructional manual, warranties, and after-sale services. All these things should be designed keeping in mind the culture of the area where the product is being launched. Culture plays a very important role in promotions. A promotional activity that is not akin to the native culture may lead to a failure of all the efforts. Decisions with respect to distribution channel focus on making the product available in adequate quantities at places where customers are normally expected to shop for them to satisfy their needs. Pricing decisions are almost always made in consultation with the marketing management. Price variables such as a dealer price, retail price, discounts, allowances, credit terms, etc. directly influence the development of marketing strategy, as price is a major factor that influences the assessment of value obtained by customers. The people involved in delivery of goods and services directly to the customers have become important in today's high competition scenario. People must be trained properly to understand local cultures and subcultures so that they can deal with different customers effectively. The service delivery process should incorporate things that are in line with the local culture. The facility design and ambience should be designed keeping in mind the culture and subcultures. The increased literacy rate in the villages has brought about a shift in the taste of people. This change in taste and buying behavior of people has led to many companies to tap this new breed of customers. The rural consumer is influenced by the environment and by his wants and perceptions. The cultural and social practices have a major influence on the behavior of rural consumers. The decision variable of a product and message are critical to marketing effectiveness in rural market as the color, shape, and action hold meaning for rural consumers that are different from those held by urban consumers. Small pack sizes get acceptance in markets by rural buyers who can pay only a small price because of their low levels of income. The attitude of rural consumers favors quality products and brands, but brand pricing has to take into account both the income level and the income flow of the consumers. On the other hand, due to a greater availability of all modern facilities along with an increase in number of educational facilities and career opportunities, people of urban areas lead an economically more stable and luxurious life. Social interaction patterns in the cities are more impersonal, calculating, indirect, and often conflicting as compared to those in rural areas. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Subcultures can be defined as culture within culture. True or false? Right. In rural India, the literacy rate is stagnant. True or false? Wrong. Culture not only influences consumer behaviors but also reflects it. True or false? Right. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we've studied till so far. Culture has been defined as the complex whole that includes knowledge, belief, art, law, morals, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by humans as a member of society. Culture provides the background of important human factors such as motivation, personality, attitude, family, and social class, etc. It offers order, direction, and guidance to its members in all phases of life. Culture influences consumers through the norms and values established by society in which they live. Reference groups transmit cultural, subcultural, cross-cultural norms and values. Culture sets somewhat loose norms or boundaries for individual behavior within a society and influences the functioning of other institutions such as family and mass media, etc. Culture not only influences consumer behavior but also reflects it. Some cultures are relatively resistant to change than others, but cultures do change gradually and continually. Four major social institutions: the family, the school, the religion, the mass media play a very significant role in transmitting the culture. There are two variations of cultural influences within a given country. Subcultural influences refer to distinguishing differences in values, customs, beliefs, and traditions among different relatively homogeneous groups within a country's larger society. Subculture may be based on religion, region, language, age, and gender, etc. Cross-cultural influences are norms and values of consumers in foreign markets that influence strategies of multinational companies marketing their products and services abroad. With the growing literacy levels and expanded horizon, rural consumers have become an area of study for the marketers. Rural markets offer a vast potential for the goods and service marketers.